Final topic, my Malkin's moments. I have a couple great Malkin's moments for you, and really I could have dedicated a whole segment to it. But the Colorado Avalanche, congratulations to them. They won the Stanley Cup last night. They defeated the two-time back-to-back defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning in 6 games, culminating in the 2-1 victory on the road in Game 6 last night to clinch. It's their third Stanley Cup in franchise history, 1996, 2001, and 2022. Obviously, 2001 was the last Stanley Cup title that they won. This was a team that trailed, by the way, 1-0 in Game 6 on the road. They scored 2 unanswered goals to win. And I think that what's impressive about what the Avalanche have done that is going to be overlooked, and I think kind of glossed over, is as much as we as sports fans often compliment teams like the Tampa Bay Lightning that have maintained a tremendous level of consistency. And I think that they deserve a boatload of credit for returning to the Stanley Cup for the third consecutive season. Think about all the teams gunning and vying for their head, vying for their position. And they displayed that heart of a champion going on the road in Game 5, winning 3-2, denying and preventing the Avalanche from raising that Stanley Cup trophy on their home ice, forcing a Game 6 back in Tampa Bay. That hurdle alone for the Avalanche to overcome was tremendous. It was absolutely tremendous to knock out the champs, to do it on the road. It was certainly fitting for the Avalanche to close out this series and to win the Stanley Cup on the road. They've been absolutely fantastic on the road throughout this entire postseason. In fact, all postseason, they were overall 9-1 on the road in the postseason, and they completed all 4 of their series on the road. They never clinched a series at home this whole postseason. They clinched every postseason round on the road. And that speaks to the resiliency, that speaks to how well coached that they've been. Obviously, this is a team whose core had been through the grind, had experienced the up and downs. They had experienced 3 straight second-round playoff exits in the 3 seasons prior to this season. Cale Makar won the MVP. He was obviously tremendous. 8 goals this postseason, 29 points in 20 postseason games. He won the Norris Trophy for the best defenseman in the NHL this entire season. Then he obviously just was named the Conn Smythe MVP winner of the postseason. He's just 23 years of age, and what he was doing was absolutely tremendous. And I think that you combine the productivity you got from him with McKinnon and Landeskog and Johnson, some of these guys who have been integral pieces of the Avalanche for several years, and it culminates in this fashion. They've been tremendous all season. They've arguably been the best team in the NHL all year, if not a top 3 team in the NHL all season. And when you look at Adam Makar, for example, he became just the 3rd defenseman to ever to win both the Norris and the Conn Smythe winner since the Pro Hockey Writers Association began tracking tabs 5 years ago. And this was a team that just during the 2016-2017 season, think about that, 6 years ago, this was a Colorado Avalanche team that had the worst record in the NHL. They literally had experienced rock bottom. And it's the ultimate redemptive story of them kind of climbing up this mountain. Just climbing up one season at a time from all the way at the bottom of the mountain to the top of Everest. And it's a tremendous, tremendous story. They've had a tremendous season and deserve a ton of credit for it. And congratulations on their franchise's third Stanley Cup final. Haven't talked about it as much or not nearly enough on Morning Joe, but it was a tremendous year in the NHL, and they deserve to be the champs. And speaking of deserving to be the champs, in college baseball, Ole Miss officially won the men's College World Series. They swept the Oklahoma Sooners in 2 games. They won 10-3 in game 1, and then yesterday they won 4-2. They also came back. They were down 2-1 in the top of the 8th, and they plated 3 runs in the top half of that 8th inning. And what's amazing, again, this obviously took place in Omaha, Nebraska. That's the home of the College World Series. This is an Ole Miss team that already chartered their own path. They became the first College World Series team to hit 3 consecutive home runs. We saw that in game 1 in their 10-3 victory since 1998. Again, they won 10-3, and at one point they hit 3 consecutive home runs, just the sheer dominance of this team. This was the first national championship for the Rebels ever. For the men's team with their championship, they won their first officially recognized men's national championship in anything since 1893, which is when they fielded their first men's football program. So talk about an unbelievable moment for the university as a whole. This was a team that started out the year ranked number 1. They dropped precipitously, going 7-14 in the SEC. Their head coach was on the hot seat. They were one of the last 4 teams in to even make the 64-team playoff. In fact, they had to beat North Carolina State to receive the final at-large bid just to get in to the tournament. They played every single series on the road. In the regionals, the super regionals, they had to go to the road, on the road for every single game. And they became the 8th national champion since 2009 to come out of the SEC. In fact, teams in the SEC have now won 3 consecutive College World Series, Ole Miss becoming the latest. And the Rebels, this is a team that finished the year 20-6, including 10-1 in this national tournament. They were absolutely on fire. And it was fitting that they started out the year ranked number 1. They finished the year ranked number 1. And it was an unconventional path. They took a little bit more of a circuitous route to get here. But the fact of the matter is they became the first team to win a championship game when trailing after 7 innings since LSU did it in 2000 against Stanford. And Sunday's contest was also the first game in this year's Men's College World Series to feature multiple lead changes. So much history was at stake. And Ole Miss, what a season they had, and congratulations to their men's program. The Rebels, I don't want to say they were a little bit rebellious this year, but they certainly had a run for the ages and deserve a boatload of credit for that. That's all the time that I got for today, ending a little bit early today. Thank you so much for joining me right here on Morning Joe every single Monday and Wednesday morning, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 to 11 Central, and 8 to 9 a.m. Pacific. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube page, Morning Joe, J-O, with Jonah Malkin on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter, at Jonah_Malkin, or at morning_Joe_JMalk97 on Instagram, and Jonah Malkin on TikTok. Thanks so much, and as always, have a lovely rest of your morning.